everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another interesting video. Today's video shall be on how to make your bootcut trouser with a high waistband. Okay, previously on this channel we've drafted our trousers pattern and we're going to use that pattern to make several other projects, so I encourage you to watch that video and enjoy this one first before you go and watch that one. That will give you a guide on how to make your trousers pattern. I hope you will enjoy watching this video, and if you do, at the end please make sure you give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment if you have a question or a suggestion, and I will respond as quickly as I can. So let's begin. So that's the front pattern of our trousers, and I've just transferred that to a fresh pattern paper. Now we're going to modify this to create our bootcut. The major thing to do here is to create the flare on the legs of our pants. Okay, we already have our actual trouser pattern here, so we'll just modify this just by expanding the legs. Now this is our knee line, and this is where we're going to start the modification from. While transferring your trouser pattern on a fresh pattern paper, ensure you have up to 5 or 6 inches allowance on both sides of the legs, because that's what will help you to expand your trousers on the legs. Okay, so from that ankle line I'm just going to measure 5 inches. This could be more or less, it depends on the fullness you want to achieve, but for mine I'm just using 5 inches. Then you're going to mark from that point all the way to your knee line, but first of all you don't want it looking straight to that point, so you want to just curve it a bit before you now mark to the bottom. So that it just blends out nicely. That's the bottom now expanded. So to create our hemming allowance, we just want to fold this in just the same way we did on our trouser pattern, because we want it to be the exact width. Then we'll trace that onto our hemming allowance. Finally, we'll mark our straight line to create our hemming allowance. On the main trouser pattern, we added 1 inch for our dart allowance, but for this project we don't want a dart, so we just want to eliminate that dart. To do this, we're going to take away 1 inch from our waistline. Okay, so take away the 1 inch and you're going to link that to our actual hip line. Okay, that's it. Then we're going to now add our 1/2 inch seam allowance. So we're going to just cut this away, and this will be our pocket line. So straight away let's cut our pattern. Next, we're going to trim out the zipper fly, because we don't need it for this project, as our zipper will be on the side. Now the front pattern is ready. We're going to move over to the back pattern. So on the back pattern, we've also transferred our back trouser pattern, and we're going to just modify this straight away to create the flare at the bottom. Also ensure that you have your 5 or 6 inches, depending on how wide you want your flare to be. Okay. So I'm just measuring my 5" as well on the ankle line. I'll connect that to the knee line. Then mark out your ankle line. Then we're going to fold the bottom as well to create out our hemming allowance. Remember that we already added our seam allowance when we were drafting the back pattern, okay? So we don't need any more allowance. Just cut it exactly how it is on the pattern. The back pattern is ready, so we'll move over to our waistband. So to draft our waistband, we'll first of all mark a horizontal line, and this horizontal line will serve as a guide for us when drafting the pattern, okay? So we've placed our pattern paper on fold as well. From our horizontal line that we marked, we're going to mark our 9 inches, which is a quarter of our waist circumference. Okay, so we'll just draw a straight line to mark our 9 inches, just a dotted line really, because we're still going to modify it. So this folded part is going to serve as our center front, because we don't want our zipper on the center front of our trousers. We want the zipper to be on the side for this project, okay? So this side is going to now be on fold. So this becomes our side front, and this will be our center front. Now from the side front, we want to measure 1 inch upwards, just to raise the side a bit, because we know that when we're drafting our front pattern, you remember we had to go down by ½ inch or 1 inch at the front. It will now curve into that actual waistline that we drafted on the pattern. I hope this makes sense. So now to make sure we blend this nicely, we're going to divide the 9 inches by 2. So derive the midpoint, and that's 4.5. Then from that point, you want to go up by 0.25, just to have a gradual curve, okay? You don't want it curving just straight away into the waistline. I want you to just curve gradually from your 1 inch point. So just mark from that point all the way to our center front, okay? So now want to measure the length of our waistband, and the length of our waistband is going to be 6 inches. I already have a video on how to draft a perfect waistband for your trousers, but for that one we used 1.5 inches. So if you would like to watch that video as well, I will link that in the description of this one. So now from this side front, we're now going to mark our waistband length, and this is going to be 6 inches because it's a high waistband, and we'll mark our 6 inch on that point. Then we're going to curve that as well. So the next thing we want to do is to impute our under bust circumference measurement, divide by 4. So our under bust circumference is 34 inches, and when you divide that by 4, it's going to give you 8.5 inches. This is what we're going to apply at this point, because this waistband extends from the actual waistline all the way to our under bust, okay? So just mark our 8.5 along this curve. Okay, then we're going to also make sure we still have our 9 inches on this waistline. Then we'll link this 8.5 to our 9 inches. Okay, so now the pattern is ready. What we want to do now is to add ½ inch seam allowance all round. Then on this side, we're going to add 1 inch for our zipper allowance, because we're going to be adding our zipper on the side of the pants. So next we're going to cut our pattern. Now we'll just cut on fabric. So that's our pattern all cut out. This is my waistband. I just cut 2 pieces of my main fabric and 2 pieces of lining, and I also cut interfacing that I'm going to fuse on the fabric. These are for the pockets, and this is the top and the bottom pocket. I just cut I cut the top one with lining, and I cut the bottom one with the fabric. Okay, and I've got 2 pieces of each. Now this is for the front and back trouser pattern. I just got 2 pieces of each. Now straight away we're going to sew this pattern, but before sewing we're going to overlock all the edges. So we're going to start with the pockets. To do that, we'll place this part of the pocket at the top. So we're going to sew that end. When you sew that, then you turn it to the wrong side. Then once you've done that, you're now going to place the pocket facing. Then you sew that top bit, okay? So but by the time you turn it in, you're going to do an under stitch on the main pocket before you now place the facing, okay? After sewing the pockets, just pin them nicely in place as I've done here. You're going to place the 2 front patterns together, and you're going to sew on the crotch depth like that. Then when you've done that, you're going to also sew the back. So you place the back and the front together. So for this side, you're sewing on that pocket piece. Okay, just place that there. And sew from top to bottom. Then you sew the other side too. After that, you're going to sew the inseam as well. So you're going to pin the front and the back crotch. So I've done the in and the out seam, and I also went ahead to do the back darts. Remember, there is no darts at the front, so we'll just left that out. I also left about 8 to 10 inches for my zipper allowance. Okay, so you just leave out that space there, don't sew it, but that will be on the left side of the front pattern. Okay, but for the right side, you're going to start from the top and sew all the way to the bottom. For the waistband, you need to fuse your interfacing on the main fabric. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is to place your facing on it like that. Then you're going to do a top stitch on that end. Okay, just sew straight from end to end. After that, you do under stitch on the facing part. Okay, do this on both waistbands. That's the front and the back one. So after preparing the waistband, just give it a good press, and you're going to place the main fabrics together and the facing together. Then you sew there. After sewing that, iron it flat to flatten out the seam. Then you fold it and pin your trousers on it. So once you've pinned that all around, you need to sew it all around. Next, you're going to sew on the zipper. Okay, so just fold that end and you're going to fix your zipper there. Finally, we'll hem the bottom. That will be it for the trouser. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope it was interesting and helpful. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already and turn on the notification bell. I upload sewing tutorials, DIY videos and pattern drafting on this channel every week. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it interesting. Drop a comment below if you have a question or a suggestion, and I'll be happy to respond to your questions as quickly as I can. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.